So I wanted to go over our basically our grocery haul that we have here. Now I will say we did not buy all of this food when we went to the grocery today. We had a lot of it at home. We also shop at Costco. So you'll see these big containers here stocked with stuff. That is going to be stuff we had already previously gotten. But I wanted to give you all the rundown of what we get, how we prepare it, why we're eating it, and just kind of how we stay on track, how we prioritize our health, and how we do that through focusing on the basics of protein, carbs, and fats, and then of course focusing on whole foods, minimizing any type of processed food in our diet, minimizing processed sugar, and eating as clean as we possibly can. One thing I have done, and I wasn't always like this, but we have recently switched over to eating all organic produce, trying to eliminate any type of pesticides, antibiotics, anything like that. For my own personal reasons, that is a switch that we have done. If that is not something that you can work into your plan, that is okay. I still want you to focus on eating your whole foods, eating your fruits and veggies, all the things. But let's go over a basic rundown of what we've got. There are a ton of veggies here, and if y'all have ever bought veggies before, you know how quickly they will, spoil or go bad. So you're probably wondering, how in the heck are y'all gonna eat all this stuff in 1 week? But one thing that I have recently done is I have got into juicing, because I am someone who does not eat a wide variety of fruits and veggies, and I know that by doing so, those are what are going to provide me with the vitamins and minerals that I need in my diet. So by juicing, I'm able to include a lot more things in my plan that I wouldn't normally eat. So what I will put into my juice, I've got some cucumbers here, some celery, a head of fresh parsley, and then a bunch of kale. We've also got some fresh lemons, ginger, and then I have some Honeycrisp apples over there. That is going to be my little concoction of juice that I make for the week, and I have little mason jars, so I'll make the entire batch. I'll use all of the veggies that we have here that I just showed y'all to prepare the juice that I'll have for the week. I also have this big thing of frozen spinach. I buy this huge container and I put it into the freezer because I know that if I don't do that, it's gonna go bad by the time that we actually get to using it. So by putting it in the freezer, it lasts a lot longer, but then it's also great for like smoothies or anything like that, because it will add a lot of volume and again, a lot more nutrients into your smoothie or your juice than you had before. So easy hack, buy the big thing of spinach, then put it in the freezer, lasts a lot longer. Some other veggies that we have here, and these are going to be more of our sides for our meals, are going to be zucchini spirals and cauliflower rice. Now these are personally for me. CJ would eat pasta or regular rice, but I am looking for a little bit lower carb alternative, and these are a really great option. Something I love about these bags is you get 4 bags within the big bag. And I have been recently making cauliflower fried rice. It's super simple. I just saute some of the frozen cauliflower in a pan. I crack an egg in there, cook that up, and then I just throw in the fried rice seasoning. And that's just an easy way that I've really been enjoying eating my cauliflower rice. Some people even throw cauliflower rice into their smoothies. I know it sounds weird. I promise you don't taste it. But again, it's a great filler and another way to just add more into your smoothie, so it could almost take the place of like a banana or something like that. The other things I have here are going to be French green beans, and all I'll do, I'll steam these, I'll throw some salt and pepper on them, and then that's just an easy side to throw with any of my chicken, ground beef, or anything like that. And then we have some organic broccoli. I'll either steam this or I'll roast it in the oven and just sprinkle it with some seasoning, a little bit of olive oil or avocado oil, and then just roast that until it's nice and like crispy on the edges or on the little broccoli florets. And that is really good. Personal preference, do it either way. Steaming's easier, but I find that roasting gives it a little bit better flavor. So that's kind of what I've been leaning into for that. Now, the other things we have here, I have our healthy fats. So healthy fats, especially for women, great for hormone health. So that is a big focus of mine and something that I will always have in my diet. It's also going to help with good sustained energy. So we have some beautiful avocados here. I'm hoping they're as beautiful as I think they're going to be. For our Butter options, we have the Kerrygold Irish butter, and then I also have some ghee as well. I really like cooking with this one, and then more so butter for like my veggies and stuff like that. We also have some avocado oil. You could do avocado oil or you could do olive oil. Either one is good. But what I have found is that your avocado oil is going to have a higher heating temperature, so it's not going to lose its nutritional value when you are cooking it at a high heat. So that is why I switched over to the avocado oil. And then we have almond butter. Now, I am a huge fan of almond butter. I would probably sit here and eat this entire jar with a spoon because I think it's that good. And this is one of the brands we really love. It's super, super clean, doesn't have any extra stuff in it, and it's great to add into smoothies, to your oatmeal, sandwiches, whatever that looks like. But that is one of our top brands that we have there. And then we're gonna jump into protein. So if you're one of my clients, you will probably hear me talk about protein over and over and over again, and I'll sound like a broken record, and that is okay, because protein is gonna be the absolute most important macronutrient that you need to be consuming if you want long-term results, if you wanna maintain that lean muscle, if you wanna build a toned and strong physique. Protein is the secret, and it is the main focus of every single meal that we eat in this house. And like I said, if you work with me, you will start to love protein because, again, I will just nail it down until you get tired of hearing it. But we like to include a wide variety of different protein sources so we don't get bored in what we're eating throughout the week. And one thing I'll tell y'all too is I normally don't portion out our meals. I batch cook. So I'll make a large batch of chicken, I'll make a large batch of ground beef, and then we just put it into containers, and then we have that to make our meals throughout the week. We'll put a veggie with it, we'll put a carb with it, whatever that looks like. But for our different meat options this week, we have chicken breasts, and I'll throw the chicken breast into a crock pot with a little bit of bone broth. Now, this is going to have more protein than just your regular chicken stock, so that is why we end up using this instead. So we do the bone broth, a little bit of chicken, and then I normally just take a seasoning packet. This week we're gonna do chicken tinga. This is a seasoning packet I found at Whole Foods. It's very simple, clean ingredients, and we love chicken tinga, so this is gonna be super good. And again, it's super easy. You put it into a crock pot, you leave it for 5 to 6 hours on low, come back, shred the chicken, throw it into a container, and now you have a ton of chicken to eat on throughout the week, whether that is lunch or dinner. Some other things we have here, we have a pound of ground venison. Not sure if we're gonna do burgers with that, not sure if we're gonna make like a pasta sauce with that, but we're very fortunate we have some clients who do give us some delicious venison, and that is something that I very much love. Venison is very lean, so that is definitely a plus in our book. So we are very excited for that. And then the other one that I have here is going to be a 96.4 ground beef. Now that is going to be a very lean ground beef, and personally I like that one, but we will lean into either 90-10, 93.7, or like I said, the 96.4. And with that, it can be used really any way. I'll probably end up just seasoning this one with like salt, pepper, garlic powder, and maybe some red pepper flakes. That way it's pretty simple. I can pair it with breakfast, I can pair it with lunch, whatever that looks like. And sometimes I'll even do like tacos with that, or I'll use the Bachan's Japanese barbecue sauce, which is one of the most delicious sauces that we use. It does have a little bit of sugar, so we have to watch out for how much, but again, bulk cook this stuff, season it to your liking, use a low calorie marinade, and again, you have a large batch of ground beef prepared for the week. Now when it comes to breakfast and what we're gonna do for our protein sources there, always we have the fridge stocked with eggs and egg whites. Now the only difference between these two, your egg whites are gonna be strictly protein, whereas your whole eggs are going to be protein and fat because you're getting fat from the egg yolk itself. For CJ, for him, I'll typically do like 3 to 4 whole eggs for his breakfast. Maybe we'll do some ground beef on the side. For myself, I'll typically do 2 eggs, and then maybe a 1/3 cup of egg whites and some ground beef on the side, and then we have our breakfast meals there. Another big focus in our diet is going to be making sure that we are getting probiotics in there. Now, probiotics are going to help with overall digestive health, gut health, and that is a big focus if you are really trying to get healthy. Gut health is a very big component of that. Something that I say, it's not you are what you eat, it's you are what you can digest. You need your stomach to be working the way that it should be. Probiotics are going to help with that. Good for digestive health. And the 3 options we have for that are going to be kefir. I'll use this in smoothies. It gives it that nice, thick, creamy consistency. CJ loves smoothies, so that is something that I'll use for him. I am a big fan of the Good Culture cottage cheese, and being someone who does not like cottage cheese, normally because of the consistency, I was really happy when I found this one because the kernels in the cottage cheese are much smaller. It's just much more appealing to me than regular cottage cheese, and then it also has live cultures in it. So when you're looking for anything that is a probiotic, you want the ingredient label to say active cultures, and then it's going to list out the probiotics that are going to be in there. Next thing we have here is going to be our Greek yogurt. Now this is going to have 17 grams of protein per serving, and again, the ingredient list is going to say live and active cultures on it, so that is something to look for. We want to try to minimize any added sugar. This has 0 added sugar, and it got a very good score on our Yuka app, which is an app that you can use to scan food, and it basically grades the food for you. This one had a high score based on all the other ones that we looked at. So just be careful when you're buying a Greek yogurt. Try to get one with less additives, less gums. The smaller the ingredient list, the better. Let's see what else we've got here. We've got our almond milk. So one thing I do try to do is minimize dairy. These are really going to be the only dairy sources that we have here. Other than that, we use almond milk. Another thing I want y'all to kind of be aware of, a lot of almond milks, you're going to look at the ingredient label and you're going to see a lot of added gums in there, which is almost like a thickening agent. That can cause some stomach upset. So we recently, in the past few months, have found this brand, and right on the front of the label, 3 ingredients only. This one is 4 ingredients only. Only difference is this is a vanilla flavored one, but the ingredient list reads water, organic almonds, and sea salt. So this is going to be much easier on your gut compared to some of the other brands that are out there. I can even do a little comparison for y'all right now because we have this one in the fridge when we could not find it the other day. This is another almond milk you're often going to see in the store, but this one has almond milk, it has sea salt, it has potassium citrate, it has sunflower lectin, it has a gum in it, I don't know how to pronounce the first word, and then it has another ingredient in here that I don't know what it is. So if we had to choose which option is going to be better, obviously this one is going to be way superior because you can read every single ingredient on the label. That is something that I have become very aware of as we are, just cleaning up our diets and things like that. So I would highly recommend if you can find this one. This is a great option. Another brand that they have is called Malk, M-A-L-K. That would be another clean almond milk option, but just look at the ingredient label, turn it around, make that be something that you are getting into the habit of doing. And I can tell y'all, the cleaner the ingredient label, the better you're gonna feel, the better your health is going to be. So just become more aware of that as you are starting to grocery shop for yourself. Now, the next thing we're going to switch over to is going to be our carb sources, and I will move it a little bit closer so y'all can actually see what we have here. All right, guys, so when we're looking at all of our carb sources here, you're going to see fruit, you're going to see some bagels, we've got rice, we've got all sorts of things. So first and foremost, we're going to focus on some fresh fruit. This is something that I will have at every breakfast meal. I focus on putting a fresh fruit in there. I'll normally fill up a mason jar of raspberries and blackberries, and I'll just munch on those after I eat my eggs and ground beef. That way I am getting in just a wide variety of fruits and veggies into my diet. I try to include fruits and veggies at every meal. So breakfast I lean more into fruits, whereas lunch and dinner I lean more into veggies. Another great just item to have in your pantry, because a lot of times we're going to see stevia, monk fruit, all of these other things, Sweet and Low, Splenda, anything like that. But that is going to be an artificial sweetener. I am looking for something that is all natural and also tastes delicious. This is going to be my #1 option. So we just get fresh local honey. We got this from a place right next to the gym called Green Fork, and they have all sorts of delicious fresh products and clean products. So that is what we're looking for there. This is just a good alternative to sugar. Or any of those artificial sweeteners. The other thing we've got here are some apples, and this is what another component of what I'll put into my juice. This gives it just a little bit of sweetness to kind of cut the bitterness of some of the veggies that I put in there. Very, very good. We've got some sweet potatoes here. Super simple. When I make these, I'll either dice them up. I normally don't just bake a sweet potato and eat it that way. I want a little bit more to it. Or I'll just slice it into little discs, and I'll lay it onto a cooking sheet and then sprinkle a little avocado oil, season it with salt, pepper, and rosemary. And I have a large batch of sweet potatoes that are now prepped for the week that I could pair with either my lunch or my dinner. Next, we've got dark cherries. We'll throw this into the fruit mix. Something I'll do with these, I am just one of those people that after I eat my dinner, I want to have some sort of just like sweet treat at the end of the night. So I'll take a little bit of Greek yogurt and then I'll put some of the frozen cherries on top with a little dash of cinnamon, maybe some almond butter if I have room for it. And then that's going to be my little dessert bowl at the end of the day. And just another way for me to sneak in some fruit. Super good. I got that idea from someone and I have just been in love with it over the past few weeks. So if you haven't tried that before, I would try it out. And let's see what else. So I normally won't eat these just because they don't fit on my plan. However, there are some days where I just need a good bagel, but these are great for CJ because he does consume a lot more calories than me. And he can do these pre-workout, he can do them with breakfast. It's just an easy way for him to get some calories in. Also, we've got our jasmine rice. This is something we bought in bulk from Costco, and I will cook our rice. Recently found these Caribbean coconut rice seasoning packets, and it has a clean ingredient label, which we absolutely love, but it's just been giving our rice just a little bit more flavor, makes it a little bit more fun. But normally I'll just cook it in bone broth. For now, we've been adding the seasoning packet with it, and it just jazzes it up a little bit more than plain rice. And then of course, throwing in the bone broth is going to throw in some extra protein in there as well. Now, in terms of oatmeal, we have two different options. This is a very easy and convenient option when you're on the go. You need something quick, you can grab this. You can pair it with your breakfast. The only thing I would say is try to pair this with the protein because it is a straight carb. We want to make sure we're balancing our blood sugar. So protein, a little bit of fat, that would kind of round this meal off. So like I said, throw it on the side. If you're doing eggs, you can have your little side of oatmeal. Maybe throw a little almond butter onto the top. Maybe you throw on a little fruit. Or what I have even done is I will even put a scoop of protein powder in there and just mix it all together. And it's a very easy and convenient breakfast, snack, anything like that when you are kind of short on time. So we have that. And then one of the oatmeal packets that I have been obsessed with probably for the last 5 years is the Better Oats 100 calorie cinnamon roll oatmeal. It is so freaking good, y'all. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just yummy. So I will take a packet, I'll put it into a mason jar, pour some flax seeds or flax meal into that. I'll top it with a little fruit and some almond milk, and then I'll even throw in a little bit of protein as well. So then I have some protein overnight oats. You can store them in a mason jar, and again, it's easy, it's convenient. This requires a little bit of prep, this one does not. So really it's all about which one do you prefer. And then of course, last but not least, my guilty pleasure. These Simple Mills chocolate brownie thins are so freaking good. And also being someone, I love chocolate. I like to have something sweet at the end of the day, but I don't want to totally go off plan. I found these a few months back and they have been in our pantry ever since. The ingredient label is clean and they're just an easy and convenient snack to have. So that basically wraps up our entire grocery haul. Y'all can tell we eat a lot of food, but with the variety of things that we have in our diet, we never get bored. We have just a ton of flavor. And that's the biggest thing, guys. It's like, I think everyone thinks that eating healthy is boring. There's no flavor. There's, it's gross. Really, you feel so freaking good once you start fueling your body the right way. So if y'all ever have questions, y'all need help getting prepared with meal prep, send me a message and I would absolutely love to help you.